So the seller is selling because first of all, and Tim, you might have a better connection to this, but basically the majority of the properties that the seller owns is in New York. This is their one loan property out in St. Louis. They also haven't really managed the property well from an expense management standpoint, and it's too much for them to have this loan property out in the Midwest when all of their properties are sitting out here in New York. It becomes one of those things where it's like the redheaded stepchild. I'm not really interested in managing the property. You can see that in the way they're kind of running the expenses, right? They're just not, it's there, it cash flows, it's fine, it does what it needs to do. And so ultimately they just need to get rid of it. Plus, they also bought at the height of the market. And so they need to offload this. They have a loan due. It's time to get rid of the property due to the loan. It's time to get rid of the property because they paid too much for it and they're going to go underwater. And again, it doesn't fit in their buy box. It's not interesting to them. It's not something that they um, really pay attention to. Therefore, that's why we believe that we are coming in, purchasing it at the right price. We're coming in and we'll be able to fix all of the mismanagement that's being done, and we'll be able to drive that NOI up and create that value.
You know, you do have two redheads on this team, right, Jason?
Redheads are awesome. I said redhead stepchild, so I don't know if you guys are stepchildren too. Then I'm sorry. I was born a redhead too. In fact, my beard's red, so
Yeah, my
I'm
dad.
allowed to say it, right?
Same here, Jason. My wife reminds me all the time that my beard is red, and I absolutely hate it when
Yep.
she does that because I,
Hmm.
I hate it. As the worst trait I got from my Nana, whose email is something like Raging Redhead 19. Fun fact. My 70-year-old grandma, her email is
Oh,
Raging Redhead.
that's awesome.
Um, just you probably already know this, but that's really dangerous for you to offer to ask as many questions you want because you should already know by now. If you give me
But
that offer,
you
I'll
know, it's
keep
a
on
good
going.
part too, is I have a mute, like I can just text Teresa and like mute.
Fair enough. Okay. Can you speak on the call it net migration to the St. Louis area? Is it really migration from, I guess, the surrounding Midwest, or is it more from central St. Louis moving out to the location that this property's at?
I don't know, Tim, do you want to answer that one?
I mean, St. Louis as a whole is fairly flat. I mean, there's small growth. It's projected to grow at about 2 to 3% in the coming years. But yeah, as far as any migration that happens in St. Louis itself, it is from people moving from, kind of the inner part of the city outward, mostly to the west. The direction where this property is where most of the people that move when they move to the suburbs. And so this is one of the more popular ones, and then St. Charles County, which is just a little bit further west, is another. St. Charles County has actually been the fastest growing county in Missouri for the last 40 years. And then Creve Coeur, like I said, is just right next to it on the same in the same direction away from the downtown area. So
And most of that comes from the rest of the people in St.